Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. And now in this video we will start with the practical series of advanced web programming. So in this video we will start with the practical number 1. This is my practical number 1. In practical number 1 we basically deal with the C# and ASP. Practical number 1 is working with basic C# and ASP. The practical number 1 we can do either using a console application or we can do this in the web application. It is also possible that we can perform these practicals in web. So now in this video, in this series, we will show how do we perform the practical number 1 and 2 using a web application. So now first we have to create a web application that obtains the 4 integer values from the user, and on the clicking of button we will see the product of this application. So let us start with the Visual Studio. So now we just close this. In Visual Studio we will first create a new project. Just create a new project, and यहाँ पे we will see there are some options that we have to remember. First we will see the language as C# language, right? Because we will write a code in C#. Now platform, we have a Windows platform. So this is my Windows operating system. That is why I am selecting this Windows, and we have to select a web. Since we are creating a web application, therefore we will select a web. Now search for ASP.NET web application. So when you search this ASP.NET web application, so we have this option ASP.NET web application .NET framework. In Visual Studio 22 we will go for this option to create a web application in ASP.NET. Just click on next. Now here we will enter a project name. So now I am giving a Soft Core Academy web application. This is my name of the project. In this we already have this .NET framework selected, so no need to change the other settings. Just create. Just click on create. Now here we have various options. Either you can create an empty web application, or you can create a web application with some web forms. By default there are many web forms will generated in this second option. You can create a MVC architecture, model, view, controller, and these are the options. We go for the empty option, then create. So now this will create a web application in Visual Studio 22. After creation of web application, it will display the output like this. This is my basic startup page. Now in web application we will create a web form. So just go to the Solution Explorer, right click on the web application. Whatever the web application that we have created, we have to right click on this web application, add new item. Now here we select a web form, and this is a web form for practical number 1. Now this is my web form, practical number 1, name of the web form, and just click on add. In this way we can create a web form. To remember students, when we are talking about the waveform, so we have to remember all the waveforms will start from angular bracket %@ page. This is called as page directive. All the waveforms have a page directive. As we can see here, this is a code, right, which is by default generated by the Visual Studio, and this is like a simple HTML code, but only one difference is that in form tag we have a run at attribute which is equal to server. That means this form is run on server. This is not a normal form, this is not a simple HTML form, this is a web form that will execute on the server. And division tag, we have a division tag. I'm just deleting this division tag and I'm writing the center so that the entire output will be in the center. Here we have a 3 options: design, split and source. Right now the source code is selected. इसके लिए यहाँ पे we are seeing a source code. I want to see the design of this source code. Just click on design. Now this is my design. As you can see here, my cursor is on center. Why? Because we already give a center tag. Now we start with the practical number 1A. In that we have to first take a 4 integer number. Now we will do the designing of this practical. Go to the toolbox. We first take a label. Label is basically used to display or to print any message on the web application. Suppose मुझे कुछ display करना है तो I want to display using a label. So just right click on this property and just fix this property so that now अब ये जो property it is not hide when we click anywhere on this window. As you can see here, the property window is fixed. Just again select the label. See, this is showing the property of the label. Now here there is an option. We will arrange the properties in alphabetical order. So see, we have this option. Just click on this option. So this is my alphabetical order arrange property. Now we will first change the ID of the label, which is your LBL1. We just set some border style for the label. You can select anyone. I am selecting a rich. See, as you can see here, the style, the border style of the label gets changed. And now we will change the text. Enter the first. Now, with the help of label, we can display a message on the web page. Now, to enter the number, user will enter the number. तो उसके लिए we will take a text box. This is my text box. So this is one of the user interface component, UI component, which is used to take the input from the user. I am changing the ID of the text box txt1 and the border style of this text box to rich. Now this is my designing for the first number. Now we will repeat the same design for the second, third and fourth number. Now just select this the label and press Ctrl button and again select the text box. So now this is your multiple selection. Ctrl C, Ctrl V for second number, third number and fourth number. Now we will give a space between this labels and text box. Just select and right arrow, and then select left arrow. So this is my design. Now we will change the text of the label first. This is my second number. ये हमारा second number हो जाएगा. The label, the ID of the label जो है is automatically changed. As you can see here, the ID of text box is automatically changed. इसका हम लोग ने txt1 दिया था ना, but this automatically set to txt2, txt3 and txt4 and so on. Now we just change the text of the label third. Enter the third number and so now this is my basic GUI. Now we will take a button, right? On the clicking of this button we will show the product of all the numbers. Again go to the properties, btn1, set the border style rich and text, show product. this is my text of the button. Now on the clicking of this button, we will display the product of all the numbers, right? So now again we will take a label. So we already have this label, just copy it. Just copy any of the label and paste here, and again just change this message to output. Now since output we will show, right? So we will give some better look to this output. So go to the font, right? Font में जाना है. We have a bold property. Just make it true. इसको true बना दो, and then just increase the size of the this output. So now this is my basic GUI. In this we have 4 inputs, and on the clicking of button we will display. Now just execute it. Right click on this web page and view in browser. Now it will execute the program. Okay, just click on OK. Yes, yes. So it will execute the this design. Just wait for some time. It will start the server. See, this is my design. Now user will type a number here. Suppose user types 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now we will click. On the clicking of this button, the product of these 4 numbers will be displayed on this output. Right now this button is not doing anything. Why? Because हम लोग ने यहाँ पे कोड नहीं लिखा है. We have to write the event handling code for this button. So this is now to generate the event of this button. Just double click on this button. ये button के ऊपर we will click a double click. So when we click a double click on this button, it will generate the event. See, this is my event. We have to remember, right, the name of the button event, that is your click. So what on the clicking of button 1, whatever the code we will write here, it will generate, it will execute the code. So now first of all हम लोग we will take n1 as a variable, and the input, that is your txt1.text. Whatever the inputs is entered by the user in txt1.text, we are getting the text property of the txt1. That means whatever the text is entered by the user in text box 1, we are storing that text in n1. But since n1 is your integer and the .text property returns the string, therefore we will convert this number, this text into integer in 32. Now this is the first, right? We will do the same thing for all the numbers. We just change the ID of the text box 1, 2, 3 and 4, and we will also change the number. Now we will find out the product of this all the numbers. Within bracket write down n1 into n2 into n3 into n4. Now this is my product. Now we will print this product on label. That is my label 5 dot, that is my output label. Text equals to, we will write product equals to plus. Then after that we will clear all the text boxes so that user will enter a new numbers. Just clear all the text boxes, यानी हम लोग सारे text boxes को we will empty the text boxes, and we will set the focus on txt1 focus. So now this is my event handling code to display a product of all the numbers. Now save all files. Again right click, view in browser, just execute the again execute this code. Now अब we will start with the inputs. Now on the clicking of this button, 1 into 2, 2 into 3, 6 into 4, 24. So the product is 24. As we can see here, all the text boxes gets empty and the focus is set on txt1. हम लोग ने focus txt1 पे रखा था, therefore the cursor is on txt1. Again the user will put a number and again will show that 120. So now this is my simple web application. In this I had shown you how to create a web application, how to design a web application, and how do we write a code to handle the event in web application. This is all about practical number 1A. I hope you understood this session. Thank you so much.